Okay, we've got a 3-pound barrel open that we're going to start something new in, and it's going to be Zebradorite, which is a form of Feldspar. This is it wet. I have a couple still photos I can put in here that dry. So we've got just short of 2 pounds of this Zebradorite in here, with 2 tablespoons of 60/90 silicone carbide coarse grit and almost 1 tablespoon of baking soda to help with any organic material that might cause gas in the barrel. Again, 3-pound barrel. Going to add some water, button it up, put it on the tumbler for 7 days. All right, we started a new project. Zebradorite. Pretty cool. Looking forward to this. And we're back with our Zebradorite, which is Feldspar. It's been 1 week in 60/90 coarse grit. Super runny. Not bad, the barrel. We only did 2 tablespoons, and since there's very little grit left, I think we did the right. Feldspar comes in a lot of different varieties, and this one is called Zebradorite. It has been running 1 week in 60/90 coarse silicone carbide grit with no ceramic media. There has been just a little bit of chippage, not much, so we were happy to see that. As you can see, one of those came right off of this. See how sharp that is? That could have just happened. But it's going to require much more work. These are really interesting pieces. It's starting to shape. Some of the sharp edges are starting to come off. This one is shaped well. But they all have, a lot more work that needs to be done. These are pretty interesting. Really cool patterns. But, you can see there's some light pitting. Still jagged edges that need to be ground down further. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Here's a little bit of pinker piece. Another pinky one. More yellow. Huh. Really cool. Obviously, nothing is ready to move forward to medium, but we did want to take a good look at the progress between 1 week and the rough. Wow. Really super cool stone. So this, I think, is the piece that came off of here. Yep. So it was like this. And it broke off. I'm just going to put that in with the Zen Garden. Okay. Ooh, I like this one. I do tend towards the more orange rocks. Really cool. Okay. We will see you, Zebradorite, next week. We're going to probably add ceramic media this time to help fill. Well, maybe not. Nope, we're still in stage 1. We're going to leave the ceramic media out. Yeah, pretty cool. You can see a lot of the quartz in it. In this feldspar. Giving it that zebra-ish look. Really cool. Okay, we will see this next week. We're going to go recharge the barrel. Be right back. Zebradorite Feldspar has been in stage 1 6090 coarse silicone carbide grit for 2 weeks. And it's been kind of nice, I think. It has had no ceramic media in it, so it's really had an opportunity to do what it needs to be done. There were a couple of chips in the barrel. I think it's gonna need just a little bit longer in 6090. Really interesting. Just a little bit longer. I think this time I'm going to add ceramic media to help cushion the barrel. Or no. Maybe not. Still has quite a bit that needs to be done. And the stone seems to be really holding up well. Oops. No ceramic media. We're just going to run it another week. Some peachier colors. Ooh. Really beginning to see this really cool pattern. This is really neat. But this is still kind of sharp-ish. Really pretty. Nothing's really ready to be pulled out for 120, so oh, look at the pyrite in that. I don't think gold grows with feldspar, does it? Put it in the comments if you know. Pretty cool. Zebradorite. Even that little piece could use some more work. Okay, we are going to recharge the barrel and let it run for another week. Zebradorite Feldspar. Really cool. Needs more time in stage 1. Zebradorite Feldspar has been running in stage 1 for 3 weeks. That's our 6090 silicone carbide grit. And we had some chippage. It still does not have any ceramic media in the barrel. There's more chippage. Because we've been trying to get it to grind down. And like this piece needs a little more work. That's a fresh chip that came out of there. You can tell by how sharp it is. That piece needs more 60/90, but some of these look like they are ready to move on to 120. So we're going to be splitting this batch. Let's see, I say that, and then there's this. See if I dry it. Can you see it any better? There's a little minute. It's just a little more work. Just for that. There's more chipping coming out. It's like this whole stone's ready except for right there. It's just like there's just the minute stuff on the surface. I wonder. Yeah, I think that I'm going to run it with cushioning this time. Even though we still have grindage to do, I'm pretty happy with the overall shape. But like grit needs to get in here and smooth that out. So I think I'm going to add borax to the mix to kind of another chip to thicken the slurry and help it get to where it needs to go. And I'm going to put a little bit of ceramic media in here because I think that with the stones banging against each other, it's starting to cause damage, and I think that these little chips here are coming from damage, like little tiny surface damage from the softer parts of this feldspar. Yeah, it needs some protection while it grinds. Yeah. It's like, so far not one piece is ready to go to 120 because there's like one spot on like every stone. Right here. You see that? You want to trust your fingers over your eyes. Because like my eyes might miss that. My finger caught it. It's rough right here. It's really pretty. I'm really liking this feldspar. But every single piece has had a little something, like it's got a line there, divot there. Yep, okay, we've made up our mind. We're going to recharge the barrel for 60/90, but we are going to add borax for thickening, and we are going to add ceramic media for cushioning. Wow, is this one actually ready for 120? Try it just a little bit. Nope, right here in the end. So close, so close. Okay, well, we know what we're going to do with this barrel. We have like 3 more barrels to get through. Everything's like in stage 1 or pre-stage 1 this week. It's kind of cool. We do have 2 barrels in polish. Well, we had one in 1000. That was that lime green quartz, and then we put it in polish. And then The Picasso Jasper also needs to be in polish. So we will see those next week. Wow. Yep, everything's got something. This is interesting. Look at the cleavage on this. You see this whole fracture line? This is how the feldspar breaks off. It breaks off in like chips of layers. That looks pretty fresh. It doesn't look smoothed over. It's probably some of these. Gosh darn it. Everything but the ends. Okay. Feldspar's getting recharged. It's a small piece. Very pretty. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, we're back with our Zebradorite Feldspar, which has been running, let's see, 4.5 weeks. It's done 3 cycles in stage 1, 60-90 silicone carbide, which was 21 days, and then it ran 11 days, and this last cycle. So yeah, there's that. Okay, there has been some ceramic media added this last time. Looks fantastic. No problems with that. But let's take a look at these gorgeous stones. I think these are ready for a wash cycle and to move forward to 120, which would be stage 2. 120, 220. Look at how beautiful this is. Now they're wet because, you know, they just came out of the rinse cycle. It's dry. You can kind of see by following the when they're wet, you can find the imperfections easier than when it's dry because it's such a heavily patterned stone. Whew. Absolutely loving this. I would almost, if I were unseasoned, I would want to move this to a pre-polish. But I know that it needs a week in the 120, 220 because the surface needs to be prepped to take the pre-polish. And there's just, you can feel with your finger just the barest little tiniest bit of, you know, little scratches and whatnot, like this little right in here. That looks like looks like pyrite. Yeah, just a little tiny bit that the 120, 220 is going to smooth out and make it even more perfect. Like that right there. I really don't think this needs any more time in stage 1. Love this pink piece. Now, I've mentioned before, you know, that we do experiments and whatnot. And one of the experiments we did was with borax. And I'm going to be talking a lot about it this week. I'm very happy with it. It makes the cleanup super easy. It made the slurry nice and thick. And, ooh, look at that. I see some chatoyancy in there. Ooh, almost like a moonstone. Yeah, so I'm going to be adding borax every stage for two reasons. The thicker slurry, which helps the grit do its job, as you can see, it's perfecting everything. And it makes cleanup so stinking easy. It's like literally just a quick rinse and I'm done. No longer scrubbing. And with winter coming, that's nice. I don't want to have to scrub in the winter. It's just a little tiniest bit right there. Can I get that? Yeah. It's right here. It's impossible to see. Gosh, I'm tickled pink. Well, this has got a crevice. It's like a cleavage. See the cleavage line on that? Hopefully it won't get knocked off. But we're going to put it in 120. I mean, if that knocks off, that could damage the surface of other stones, but I'm going to add a lot of ceramic media to help cushion. There's a little bit right there. But I'm not going to leave it in 60-90 just for that. Not today. Wow, we're going to move this forward. It just has such a nice feel in the hands. It's a little pebble. There's a crevice in here that I would normally keep it, come on, keep it in 60-90 for. We'll see. We'll put it in 120 and see what happens. Oh gosh. This makes me nervous. I might end up pulling this one out. See that hole right there? And it's leading to a crack. It's going right here. That whole tip could be jeopardized. Gosh, I can feel it. Will it break off in my hand? Oh, it did. It broke off in my hand. I was trying to do that over. I guess this is not going forward. Let's set that one aside. Rock dust. That could be added to the chip pile. See, sometimes you can just tell when there's going to be a problem. And if had that gone forward and broken in the while tumbling, it could have damaged the surface on the other stones. Come on, focus. And that's why we inspect every stone, because you don't know what you're going to find. Getting little pieces of rock dust here. Gosh, these are really, really super cool patterns on this Zebradorite Feldspar. There's a couple little things. I think the stage 2 will help continue to smooth some of that out. Not 100% sure. There's another. There's damage all along that seam. Come on, focus. Oh, see, this is that one that had those little indents in there, and now it's washing away, eroding. And this whole tip, I think, is going to end up doing what that other stone did. So let's just pull it out right now. I do like these pinky pieces. There's a whole section right here that's rough to the thumb, rough to the feel, right here on the edge. Come on, focus. The rest of the stone feels really good. I am so happy and pleased with the stone. All right. I think what we're going to do is do a wash cycle and move it to stage 2. That's 3 things moving forward today so far. Yay! All right, we'll see this lovely stuff next week. And we're back with our Zebradorite Feldspar, which has been running in stage 2, 120, 220 silicone carbide grit for 1 week. And it is really looking nice. It's not quite as smooth as I would like it to be. But let's just give it another rinse. And let's see, or another sprinkle here. Really cool patterns. Really happy with it. The slurry was nice and thick, so I'm tickled pink with that. It's just a divot. No grit catching there. Oh, it's feeling better. Yeah. I think this is ready for wash cycles and to move forward to 500. Okay. That feels really rough. Oh, that's that section we thought might chip off. I would hate for that to chip off in these higher I'm going to set that aside. I want to look at that more. I want to make sure it's stable before I move it forward. I might tap it with a hammer and see, hammer and chisel, and see if that breaks off. There's kind of a rough spot in here that did not grind out, and did in stage 1, and in stage 2 it didn't smooth either, which I was hoping it would do. Most of this is feeling pretty good. Wow, that's cool. Yep, I'm thinking this batch is going to go to wash cycles and then move forward. Whew. Awesome. Okay, so after the wash cycles, we'll change out the ceramic media for the polish or pre-polish media. Look at a little baby one. I like this orange. It's really cool. That seemed to have filed out nicely. I was a little concerned about that edge, but that worked. Okay. Feldspar or Zebradorite Feldspar will get a wash cycle, or several of them, and then be moved to stage 3 to pre-polish 500 aluminum oxide. Okay, fantastic. We got one more barrel. Be right back. Okay, we have moved on to our vibratory tumbler, and it's our mini Sonic MT14. So we've got 3 4-pound hoppers in this one, and we're starting with our 500 aluminum oxide stage 3 barrel, and it's running our Zebradorite, which is a feldspar. And I think we put too much borax in it. I did 3 tablespoons and it made it really thick, and I had to keep adding water, and it didn't give me the rotation I really wanted. So next time I'm going to reduce the amount of borax to 2 tablespoons. But this has been running for 2 days in 500. It's looking fantastic. The surface is really getting nice. Trying to keep it wet, but then I want to dry it as I'm working on it. Wow. I'm going to dry this one because I want to see what the surface looks like. Because the purpose of pre-polish is to get the surface ready to take polish. And we're getting a small matte finish on it already, which we want to see. It's looking really, really good. Alright, now let's look at a wet piece. Kind of chase that shine a little bit and look for the surface, how it's doing. Oh, I'm really happy with this. Zebradorite. Interesting name. Interesting stone. I like the color variation. I love the peach one. And I like this orangey one. Love the color. Yeah, they're all feeling really good. So this is going to get a wash cycle with borax and Dreft baby detergent for about an hour in the vibratory, and then we rinse it, and then we do it again for an hour, and everything should be nice and sparkly clean and ready to move to 1000. As opposed to the wash cycles that happen in the rotary, which can run for, I don't know, 8 to 12 hours. Well, no, about 2 to 4 hours a cycle. By the time we're done, it's about 8 to 12 hours worth of wash cycles in the rotary to get everything nice and clean. Wow. Really, really amazing. It's feeling good. It's definitely ready to move to 1000. So after the wash cycles, we'll change out the ceramic. We'll put it in a different barrel. We're trying to keep the 3 vibrating barrels, one for each aluminum oxide stage. So we've got a 500, a 1000, and a polish. So 3 different barrels. We have 3 different ceramic medias that stay with those barrels. So no cross-contamination happens. Wow. Tickled pink. Oh, got a white one. Yeah, perfect. Definitely ready to move forward. Boy, that doesn't even look like Zebradorite. Okay. That's the tail for this one. We're gonna start the wash cycle. We're gonna move on to 1000 on that one. All right, be right back. Okay, we have our mini Sonic with our 3 4-pound hoppers in here, and we are going to give them all a little squirt. Sorry about the camera angle here. We're going to start with our 500s. We're going to get them all ready for wash cycles. So I'm going to turn this on, and that's at the very lowest speed, and you hear how quiet it is. And I want to add 1 tablespoon of borax to each barrel. I'm going to turn them all on the lowest speed just to get this started. Water. And because these are wash cycles, I'm just adding generous amounts of water. Now I'm going to put in Drop baby soap. And you can see it just sort of stopped its action. So turn, speed up. Get a really good rotation. Set medium. Goodness, I'm sorry about the camera. Died. Medium. To add some more water. I'll be right back. We're back with more water. We want to get this nice and soapy. Good bath. We're not looking for a grind here. We're looking for movement for a good wash. Turn these up to get good action. These are not all the way to high, but we're getting a good rotation. I want these to get good and clean. And we are going to let these run for an hour. And then we will beat, and I'm going to put the lids on them. Oh, hang on. And we're back. I'm sorry about all the jerky camera movement there. My tripod doesn't work at this angle, so I kind of had to hold it by hand. So this is at our 500 1000 and polished hoppers. And they're all, so we've got our Zebradorite, our salmon moonstone, and our petrified wood all going through wash cycles. And these are going to run for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then I'm going to come back, rinse them out, and check them. And if they need another wash cycle, I'll give them one. If not, then we'll move them forward to the next barrel. So as you can see, we're just about, high would be all the way down here. So we're, medium is straight up. So we're at between medium, oops, there, almost high. It's pretty quiet considering, you know, the rotators, the rotary tumblers. All right, I'm going to turn the rotors on now, rotating tumblers, and then we're going to start our new barrels. We'll be right back. Goodness, all over the place. Alright, we're back with our Zebradorite Feldspar. It has been 2 days in 1000 aluminum oxide, and it's been through a wash cycle and a burnish cycle. And we want to get it, make sure it's nice and ready to go to polish. And so we want to check the surface here. And I did try this piece off so we can get a really good look at it. It's feeling really nice. Let's keep it damp here. Oh, it feels like it's so smooth, like it's going to take a really nice polish. Okay, they're looking really nice and clean. I'm not feeling any grit, so we're not going to have any contamination. These are going to go into the vibratory tumbler once it frees up. The polish barrel once it frees up in 2 days. So they're going to just sit in a nice clean water and just let it soak so they don't dry out. Okay, pretty darn happy with how they look so far. Yeah. Alright, these are just going to soak until the tumbler's ready. And we are done with Zebradorite for this week. We will see it in a few days. Okay, Zebradorite. It has been sitting in a water bath waiting to run to polish. And now that we've got the polish barrel all cleaned out, we're going to first put in some ceramic media, our polish only ceramic media. And we're going to put our stones in. And the polish media was dry. Okay. Now with the stones being super wet, that should get everything moving. I want 2 teaspoons polish. Bring that down just a bit. 1, 2, and then 1 tablespoon of borax is coming next. Getting a really good action on that. Add just a smidge more water. Alright, Zebradorite, we'll see you in a couple of hours and see how the slurry is progressing. Alright, we've pulled out a piece of Zebradorite, which has been running 2 days in aluminum oxide polish on the vibratory tumbler. Dry this off here. My fingers are a little damp. Alright, how is this polish looking? Not bad. But again, I think it could get shinier. So I'm going to hold this also as a control. Just seems like the edges are shinier than the flat surfaces. So it might just need a little bit more time. 2 days might just not be enough. Alright, I'm going to button up that Zebradorite. I'm going to hold this as a control. You see we've got both the moonstone and the Zebradorite, and I think they could both get a little shinier. And we're going to find out just how many days in the vibratory tumbler under polish does it really take. We'll be back with some tiger's eye. Okay, we are back with our 3 vibratory tumblers that are in polish. Our Zebradorite, our peach moonstone, and our tiger's eye. Now, when we left off, we had our Zebradorite and our moonstone in had been in polish for 2 days, and we took out a couple of pieces and we set them aside as control pieces to see if we could get a better shine. And then we were going to let them tumble for 2 additional days, and we ended up I think 4 days, because life happens. Zebradorite Feldspar is finally completely finished. You see just a lovely, lovely finish. Beautiful shine. Now this was the control piece that only had 2 days in polish on the vibratory tumbler, and all the rest of these had 5 days. I said 6 earlier, but when I went back and looked at the actual calendar, it was only 5 days. Just a fabulous shine. It was definitely worth it being in there a couple extra days. So I went through all my notes for the Zebradorite, and found that if I polished it like an extra day in the 500, I think I would have had a better surface. Instead of 2 days, I should have done 3. And then maybe 3 days in the 1000. Then I would have only had to have spent, 2 to 3 days in polish. It's just redistributing the grit level where it spent the amount of time. It's the same amount of time. Damn, that's beautiful. Same amount of time. But we wanted just where it spends its time to get the surface in the condition that we want. And I was afraid, because of the different material in here, that it would undercut. And that's why it spent less time in the harder grits or the silicone carbide than one probably should have. Spent just a tiny bit more time. And then like this little imperfection right there, we could have tumbled out. But I mean, seriously, how much of a perfectionist do you want to be? That's super cool. It's just beautiful. Look at that surface. I'm so in love with this. There's some sort of like a mica shine in this stone. So kind of like a little bit like moonstone. So it's sort of like an adulorescence or a luminescence or picanescence. But this is really beautiful. This is completely dry. Now, after I kind of took a peek at it a few minutes ago, well, a couple hours ago, my time. We put it, you saw we put the Dawn soap in, put it in for about 15-20 minutes in a Dawn soapy bath with a Dawn dish soap. Then we rinsed it really well. I took a polished toothbrush, the one that I have just for polish stage, cleaned out any slurry that was left in the cracks. I tried to. That is actually stone, not slurry. And then put it in for an hour with borax and water as a final burnishing step. And that was to remove any soap residue, any polish residue, anything left in it. And as you can see, you can't argue with these results. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Trying to get a little bit of each of the colors. Look at that. Woo. Just absolutely gorgeous. I do love it. Now see, had we spent more time in stage 1, this little imperfection could have been tumbled out. But I was afraid of losing too much mass on the stone, and it was a tiny bit softer, and I was babying it. Wow. So Zebradorite, absolutely beautiful. We'll run this again. And again, this is a Feldspar variety. And I really, really, really love it. I'm very happy with it.